Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're just tuning in, I'm Kat.
And I'm Lu. And this is Stuart. Ha! I love Stuart.
We know. Today's video is brought to you by
Jules.
And if you don't know who she is, she's a professional tennis player, a friend of mine, who just started her own podcast. So please go follow her on Instagram and Twitter. We'll leave her info down in the bio. So please go do that for her.
Her info will be somewhere
Right. And shout out to Marija, who gave us the editing software, because without her we wouldn't be able to do any of these videos. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Today's topic is going to be about how Luisa encourages me to chase my dream, specifically with tennis, since it's such a sporadic sport. And it's very common for people to choose their significant other over their passion, rather than using their significant other to enlighten their passion.
But before we get started, hey,
go hit that like.
Go hit that like, subscribe, comment,
and turn on your notifications. She never remembers that one.
Share.
That's the most important one. But make sure you do all that fun stuff before we get started.
Alright, here we go, guys.
Shortly after I met Luisa, I got into a car accident, which prohibited me from playing tennis for about 9 to 10 months.
So that was a long time.
Yeah, so during that time, I was exploring coaching tennis. I was exploring doing EMT, firefighting.
Which you did get your EMT.
Yeah, which I did complete all of that
That's
stuff.
Awesome.
And during the end of my EMT, actually, is when I was talking to Luisa, thinking about, what my next step in life would be.
Yeah, so and at that point, we were already living together. We were married, maybe?
No, we weren't married yet.
No?
No.
But we were like engaged already.
Yeah,
we were engaged already, and then obviously like she kind of hesitated to kind of be like, hey, I want to play again, and I was like, I don't know why you're hesitating. If that's truly what you want to do, then let's make it happen. It's gonna be hard.
Yeah, because I still was thinking, I still missed doing the sport, but I mean, tennis players know how hard it is to come back from 1 week off. Imagine 10 months off,
Yeah,
So,
it was a lot.
And I had already been pursuing other things, so I could have gone in any direction, really.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of her getting upset with me about not being able to choose like kind of what direction I wanted to go in with life, she encouraged me to go explore and to try different things out to see what I really liked. And Luisa had the feeling that she knew I wanted to go back to tennis, but I was a little bit scared.
Yeah, no, definitely, 100. I really thought that she just I knew that's what she wanted to do, and I know that the reason she stopped was because of her car accident. She wasn't feeling well, and you can't push somebody to work out and to be. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
This tennis life is crazy, guys. Like for those who
we know.
aren't with it, like that's insane.
Yeah. So, but she at the end finally she said, "Babe, go and play." And I was like, "Are you sure? Like I don't have to do this. I can do other things, because it's not a stable life either. So it's a bunch of sacrifice on both ends, So in the end, she finally encouraged me to do it, and then now I've been starting up.
Yeah.
Something that's really great about having a partner like her who is really encouraging towards my career is that when things get tough and maybe like the wins are not coming in, meaning financial struggles or anything like that, instead of her kind of breaking down and saying, it's not working out, let's just go something that's stable, she encourages me to keep going and try harder and train harder. And so stuff like that is something that is really rare, I think, on the tour. I think people that get into relationships on the tour, the significant other gets really jealous, gets really upset that the other person's not at home enough or anything like that. So I think that's one quality that she has that makes my tennis even better. So
This video is great. I like
this is a complimenting
all
video.
these compliments, guys.
Another thing that really helps in my tennis, giving me motivation and having, the support that I need, is that she attends as many practices and tournaments as she can. But obviously it's really expensive to travel to every single tournament, which is what I ideally would like.
But we'll get there,
yeah.
guys. We'll get there. Like that's the plan, and one day, when everything goes well.
And honestly, that's my main goal. Like I don't really have a numbers goal right now or a financial goal. I see myself looking towards, if Luisa's traveling with me more, then I'm doing something right, I can afford it and she can be there for me, which is when I'm my happiest, because you know how hard it is to be playing a tough 4-hour match and you look to your sidelines and there's nobody there. I mean, that's such a tough feeling, and winning and losing, to have someone there to celebrate with you and there's nobody there, it's heartbreaking, you know. So
mind you, all I could really do is look at my phone, and sometimes it's live stream, so I could like watch it and have a heart attack. But as I'm watching her, even if I'm like in the other side of the country, like my palms are wet, like I start shaking, and I just like, the only thing I really want is to be there. Like whether she wins or loses, I don't like. Of course I care. I want her to win. I want her to be happy because I know how happy she gets when she wins. But like, just when she loses, or I just want to be there to like give her a hug and tell her, all right, on to the next one. You know, don't get stuck on a loss.
And she has a great understanding now of tennis because I've explained it to her, and she lives around my family who is all tennis oriented. Yeah, all we do is watch tennis, talk about tennis.
I work at a tennis club now.
Yeah. So she's literally surrounded and drowned by tennis. So she knows, like, if she were to watch me, she knows what's going on, what's going right, what's going wrong. But at the end of the day, win or lose, she's my wife, no matter what. She never brings up anything tactical, anything like attitude-wise, you know, like nothing like that. She just, I get off the court and that's my wife, and I come and give her a hug, and then we're family.
Go eat.
Yeah.
And then that's great.
Yeah, so it's a win-win, honestly.
It is what I tell her, like when she leaves out of state or out of the country and stuff like that. When she loses, I'm just like, damn, babe, that sucks. But you get to come home to me.
Exactly.
You
so
know?
It's like, yeah, I'm upset for the loss, obviously, but then as soon as she tells me that, I'm like, yeah, you're right, you know, because there's so much more to tennis that people don't realize, and even I was stuck in that funk and in that mentality that tennis was my life and tennis was the only life I had, you know, and until I met her, I didn't really understand that that's really not even close to true.
It's not, and tennis doesn't define you. And we were talking to somebody the other day. Tennis does not define you. Any sport does not define you. Like, you are your own person apart from that, apart from what people just know you for.
Right, and people, you know, like if you're top 10 in the world, people will define you for your tennis, like she's saying, and you know, people will want to be friends with you just because of that, and people will love you just because of that. And with her, she never, you know, sees me as a tennis figure. Yeah, she didn't know. So it was great, you know, because I'm like not one to be like, oh, you know, I'm Katarina, you know, like who am I, you know? So it's really great that like nothing tennis wise defines me for her.
She's just annoying all on her own.
Yes, I'm an annoying wife. That's all. And the last thing I want to talk about is that the way that I perceive tennis now is that I'm playing for something so much bigger than myself. I know obviously it's great to win everything if you can, and it's great to have the money rolling in and all that fun stuff, you know, like that's what people normally play for. But when I'm out there, I'm playing for us. I'm playing for our future. I want to have, you know, I want to have kids with her. I want to have a nice big house, a nice car. She's like, no, you're not going to get any of that. She just
wants the freaking car. And I don't want a big house. I want a little house.
But
because then I have to clean.
But point is, I want a good future for us both. And I know tennis can bring us that. And tennis is not the only thing we're relying on. I mean, we could be doing anything for a future with any career or anything like that. But she is helping me pursue my passion. And, you know, like we're going to try to ride it out as long as we can. And if it brings us nice things, great. And if it doesn't, then we move on, you know? Like, it's not the end of the world.
So, in conclusion, guys, what I see this as is you have to look for someone who is going to love you no matter what. And I know that sounds very cliche, and I know that it does. Yeah. It sounds something like that's what anyone's going to tell you. But you have to look within that. Like, you have to look for someone who will let you follow your passion, who will support you. And I'm not saying support you like money-wise. I don't need you to be with somebody who's just paying your bills. That's not what you gotta do. You gotta look for somebody who wakes you up in the morning in a good mood for you to go out there and do your best in whatever it is. You could be cleaning toilets, you could be being a pro, you could be being an astronaut, whatever it is. As long as the person next to you is your happiness, is your home, whether it's here or in China, like that's what you gotta look for.
Yeah, it's true.
You gotta look for someone who's gonna support you and not bring you down because you win or lose.
Of course, especially in tennis, like you need to be in the right mindset to be able to play well. Like if you're not having a good relationship at home or with your partner, your tennis is gonna be affected by it.
Like with everything.
With everything in life.
Any job, if you and your partner are not happy, like, dude, sometimes it's just better to let it go.
Right.
It's something. It's for mental, like. Sometimes you feel like you're stuck in a relationship. If they're not bringing you happiness, which is what you deserve, that everybody deserves, then you just gotta let it go.
Yeah.
Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you want to hear more about these tennis things and our couple things and everything,
Our life,
basically, comment down below, let us know what you guys want, DM us, text us, whatever you guys
like, subscribe.
Once again, shout out to Jules and Marija, you both are great, we appreciate you.
But yeah, we'll talk to you soon.